Hello, fourth graders. Welcome to lesson 2.9, problem-solving multi-step multiplication problems. Please pause to write the lesson number and title in your notebook. Today's objective is I can use the draw a diagram strategy to solve multi-step problems. Please pause again to write the lesson objective in your notebook. Let's read our Unlock the Problem for today's lesson together. At the Sea Park, one section of the stadium has 9 rows with 18 seats in each row. In the center of each of the first 6 rows, 8 of those seats are in the splash zone. How many seats are not in the splash zone? In today's lesson, we're going to use this graphic organizer that we've seen before to organize our information, and we're going to draw a diagram to help us solve this problem. So the first thing that we need to find is, what do I need to find? Well, I need to know the number of seats that are not, said down here, are not in the splash zone. So are not. Next, I need to find out what information I need to use. They told me there are 9 rows with 18 seats. Look back up at our chart. There are 9 rows with 18 seats in each row. And there are 6 rows with 8 seats that are in the splash zone. And in this problem, we're going to multiply to find the number of seats in the total and the number of seats in the splash zone, and then we'll use those to subtract and find out what's left over. So I can multiply to find the number of seats in the section and the number of seats in the splash zone. So here's our diagram that shows 9 rows and 18 seats in the center. I outlined a section to show the 6 rows of the 8 seats in the splash zone. So here's my 9 rows, and each row has 18 seats. Then we looked at just the first 6 rows, and in those rows we looked at the 8 seats in the middle that are in the splash zone. So if we look here, I have 18 times 9, our first 2 numbers. That tells me how many total seats I have. 18 times 9. So 8 times 9 is 72. So the 7 goes on top and the 2 goes underneath. And then 9 times 1 is 9 plus 7 is 16. So I get 162 total seats. And then in my splash zone, I have 6 rows and 8 seats. So I need to multiply 8 times 6, and that is 48. And then in order to solve my problem, on the problem below, we know that we need to know what is not in the splash zone. So if I have a total of 162 total seats and 48 of them are in the splash zone, I need to subtract to find what's left over. So I'm going to do 162 minus 48. Okay, if I have 2, I can't take away 8, so I have to borrow. This becomes a 5, and I move over a 1. 12 minus 8 is 4. 5 minus 4 is 1, and I drop down the 1. So there are a total of 114 seats that are not in the splash section of the Sea Park. So if you don't want to get wet, that's where you should sit. We will try another problem like this tomorrow in class, but tonight you're almost finished. Go back to your teacher's website and make sure you complete the exit slip. See you tomorrow.